I don't know if Morgott is the best boss in Elden Ring, but he's certainly the saddest. He's holding it down for the Erdtree, when the Erdtree banished him to the sewer. His mother doesn't love him. Painful horns are growing out of every inch of his body. But he does have a curved greatsword, and those are pretty good. To watch these runs live, follow us on Twitch. We're finding new ways to play the game all the time. I'm doing a marathon stream there for my birthday this weekend, so go watch it. We might be doing it right now. Join the Patreon and watch exclusive videos we made just for you, and to join the Discord and chat and have fun and play games and stuff. And make sure you like and subscribe. Again, my birthday, end of the month. Please subscribe. We'd love to be at 100,000. Actually, kind of worried I jinxed it by saying that. Hopefully it's not an ill omen.
What's the time? It's time to get ill. What's the time? It's time to get ill.
Wait, no, is that a pun? Because Morgott is kind of the first boss with omen in his name, as in a sign things are going to go poorly. Then he gets sick in the Morgott fight, or ill as in an ill omen, foreshadowing that your plans to enter the Erdtree are going to run into issues. I think so. The game has a lot of puns. Thankfully, there's no farming on this one for god dang once. That's gonna be really nice. The setup is really short. We just need the remembrance weapon, his armor set, a couple talismans. That's it. We'll hit up the Weaving Peninsula to duplicate the remembrance. The turtle here is pretty quick to get to. Not as quick as the one in Liurnia, but this one also lets us grab a bunch of sacred tears on the way. This build is on top of the Nox sisters, and they didn't really grab sacred tears. Flowing form is great for cleaning turtle toes until we get stepped on and die. Even with the ritual shield talisman? I think it's just an insta-kill, but dang, getting stepped on finishes us off pretty quick. Google Tulok getting stepped on for a quick finish on your work computer to find out more. Got. We'll take Morgott's remembrance back to the round table hold, then buy the cursed sword and the chest piece. Hey, where's the rest of the armor? Where's the pants? Where's the helmet? Where are the gloves? Are we really just wearing rags and that's it?
I'm porky pigging it today.
Really thought he'd be wearing more. Got. Lore got from the sword. The accursed blood that Morgott recanted and sealed away reformed into this blade. Short but sweet. Dude has fire in his blood. He took it out to make a weapon.
That is so punk rock.
Now from the rags, a cloak of ragged fur worn about the exposed body of Morgott the Fell Omen. Having slaughtered countless champions during the Shattering, the Fell Omen has become a horror to those who harbor ambitions for the Erdtree or for lordship. Okay, normally I don't like gatekeepers, but I give an exception for Morgott for two reasons. Number one, dude's rad. Number two, the Erdtree sucks, so nobody's missing much anyway. Now, if only he didn't gatekeep the cool light hammers, light daggers, light swords, raining light swords, there is a difference, and the poo-poo flood attack. On second thought, he can keep the poo-poo flood attack. Now it's just a matter of finding upgrade materials. It's not ideal that the run this was on top of was using a somber weapon. All the best somber stones are already taken. There's another 8 on the frozen lake. On the way there, I realized we'd get a pretty decent buff from the Blue Dancer talisman at this equip load. Also, why is Blue Dancer, the talisman that boosts your damage at low weight, one of the heavier talismans? Come on, that sucks. There's another easy 9 from the Dragon Barrow inside a beetle. Before we get the Somber 10, we go respec with Rennala. Oh no, I forgot to get the Rennala's Grace. Guess we'll have to go through the debate parlor. Yeah, I like that if you wear the Blue Dancer if you wear the Blue Dancer gear, did I just wrong warp accidentally? Wait, how did we end up in Rennala's room? This isn't an editing thing. We went to the debate parlor because we didn't have the Rennala Grace. 2 loading screens activated, and then we just spawned right in front of Rennala.
Where are we?
Guess I won't complain about a little speed boost. First things first, we have to trans our gender. FTM stands for female to Morgott today. We're grabbing mostly dex for this one. This is a funky sword. Get plenty of vigor, of course, and then arcane. The bleed stacks come from our arcane, and I think the fire damage of the Ash of War does as well. Can really find out what that scales with. I hope it's not strength or some baloney like that. We'll debut the sword against Anastia, and oof, that armor is light. But the weapon?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this one.
It's real glass cannon hours, gamers. Smash that like button if you like when the fight ends in 20 seconds, regardless of whether or not you actually won the fight. Since the Ash is fire damage, let's go get the flame boosting tier from the Putrid Avatar in Caelid. It's super fast. I mean, it's fast with Catch Flame on a +0 seal. This is a maxed out remembrance weapon. The Erdtree Guardian drops his pants for us, but we don't need pants. That's a coward strategy, and I am not a coward. That Ash of War is so hot, but it can get hotter, and what could be hotter than getting running into a hot tub with a man who's kind of shaped like a hot tub. Seriously, pop that lid off and you're just stewing in a big bowl of people's soup. That is what a hot tub is after a certain amount of time. Enough of that man broth, let's swag jump through Farum Azula and fight our favorite man soup man. He can't bleed, he's 100% immune to fire damage, but the sword itself does not do any fire damage until you hit L2. And it's Alex. He's great, he's just not very good at fighting. Let's go home. No, not the Ashen Capital, the sewer. Say what you will about the sewer, but at least the omens here aren't being butchered for the Erdtree. Morgott is a class traitor, real leopards eating people's faces party guy over here. But it's so hard to stay mad at him when the Ash of War on this thing cooks so hard. We're heading for the Leyndell catacombs and solving the gaslight puzzle to make our way to Esker. He's got 3 dogs, but you wouldn't know it because the fight only takes 3 seconds. Actually, I think he only has 2 dogs. I don't really remember. Here's what I do know. Lord of Blood's Exaltation will give us a 20% damage boost when we get a bleed proc. That means this sword that cooks now cooks even faster. I'm talking about making delicious meals in 2 minutes amounts of fast. Just kidding. Morgott's sword doesn't cook that fast. But meals from today's sponsor, Factor, they sure do. That's right, everybody, this video is sponsored by Factor. Factor sends you meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes, but they're never frozen. That means that the taste is still magnifique, which is French for very good. This summer, don't waste your time grocery shopping or going out to eat. Hang out outside and have fun. Then pop inside for a few minutes to get your Factor on. No matter what your dietary restrictions are, Factor has you covered with protein plus, keto, and calorie smart options. That's my personal favorite. See, I've been trying to bulk up a little bit, but want to bulk up with the muscle. That means I'm looking for high protein, low calorie foods. Calorie smart options are 540 calories or less, and they still are packed with protein. Everything is dietitian approved and uses ingredients you can trust. When I'm done working out, I definitely don't want to turn on a hot stove and hang out in the kitchen for 30 minutes. I just want to eat. Factor is great for that. Head to factor75.com and enter offer code HEIGHT50 at checkout for 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. Again, that's offer code HEIGHT50 at factor75.com for 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. I'm repeating it because the deal seems too good to be true, but trust me, it is true. Believe it, like Naruto would. Now that we've gotten something tasty in our bellies, let's get back to someone pretty nasty. That mean old Morgott.
I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody.
Sorry to jump scare you with a song from Wokefest, Some Like It Hot. I tell you what, everything has been so woke these days. These days being the past 65 years. It holds up, by the way. Great movie, lots of fun. Grafted Scion has so many extra limbs, but we can carve them up no problem. We're already in Limgrave. But is it really us, or is it just an illusion? Let's fight our illusory self, and my god, we have to stop pressing L2 sometimes. This game is so much harder in NG+. How are we supposed to compensate for that? Gostok opens the door and is rewarded for his loyalty in true police state fashion. Womp womp. Danger Path is actually kinda dangerous considering our outfit of choice is the Charmin scraps that make it through the sewer. Godric makes us press circle a few times. I think I'm gonna be sick. He even hits us with the fire breath in phase 2. This is gonna be an F tier. It's got failure written all over it.
You know what? This one's dumb. Dump it. Trash it. This one's garbage.
Maybe we just need some help from Godric's Great Room. The sword kind of scales with 3 stats, so +5 to all of those should really crank it. Liurnia next, hopefully we can do it without having to press circle. My thumb hurts when it has to move. Smaragd gets hit first, just kidding, it flew away. If it flies away, Smaragd's okay. If it doesn't fly, Smaragd has to die. Normally we'd warp all the way to the Altus highway pretty quickly, but forget that. Raya Lucaria can fall to the cursed sword on the way. Ew, we take a bunch of damage to the Red Wolf of Radahn, and it's fast, so we have to time our attacks out. This is hard. I don't like it. Renala should be pretty smooth. We use R1s for phase 1, and then in phase 2, we switch to L2. Such a difficult to pilot build. I'm like Sully Sullenberger, except I would have dodged those geese and landed the plane in Charlotte like I was supposed to. Enjoy catching that stray, Sully, you fool, you chump. We beat Renala. Okay, now we have to go to Altus, which means it's probably faster to just imagine Morgott in Fortnite. Dude would probably be trying to tell kids about the Erdtree, like like a major freak. Oh, the Rapture is coming, so is the Storm. We gotta get out of Tomato Town now. For at Faroth, we just grab the other Dectus and warp out, then hit the Bellum Highway to touch Altus. Whole bunch of running around, but it's the fastest way to activate the Radahn fight. The path down from the Dragon Barrow actually isn't, but it will get us the last sacred tier we need for the plus 12 flasks, so I'll do that. Morgott is super fun at parties until he starts throwing up and crying because his parents hate him. Pretty typical of the religious kid at a party, actually. He's fun when you're fighting Radahn. Let's get everyone out here and start hitting that L2. Sadly, we get hit once and it slows down, so Radahn gets to experience his second phase for like a whole second. Still very embarrassing. We've only died once so far, but I feel like it's very in character for Morgott to be self-loathing. Mimicked here is a second Morgott, and here our low armor helps us out. He dies faster despite having our sizable health bar. I mean, that thing's covering half the screen. You gotta love it. Might as well light the torches. Obviously, the deer will be free. He runs away a bit, so I just have to kill it, press forward, get greedy, no worries, that'll wrap it up forward.
Because my whole life I've been greedy.
So we died to a turtle, and we died to a moose. Even if this doesn't die again, I'm gonna feel really silly about that. Hopefully we don't die twice to the big moose. It's so hard to resist the greed when the dude won't stop hippie hopping away. Like, I get it, that's the right move. Cursed Blood Slice is merciless, but still, you're being annoying? Can you just die? Boggart really needs a better sear on those shrimp, and we'll slice them up for him too. Then we'll give Raya her necklace. By the way, Raya would be Morgott's niece, right? It's always funny to me that she's Radagon's grandchild. They should definitely show off Raya's combat prowess in the DLC. Can Morgott carry a manor? No, he's too busy carrying that chip on his shoulder. Loretta can't bleed. She can stand on the water, but she's also just kind of weak. Like, Snowrunt has a great matchup against Rayquaza, until you realize that resistances ain't everything. Say howdy to our cousin Ronnie. Sorry you died, but it looks like you're feeling better. That's nice. She says she needs a god-slaying knife, but only for kitchen stuff. Okay, we'll get it for you, but don't do a deicide, okay? I'd be so mad. By the way, high quality kitchen knife, great gift for anyone who eats food. Incel Rivermane, we don't need anything here, and Morgott doesn't need any companionship. He's not lonely. He's got the Erdtree. And if he puts in enough nice guy tokens, surely the Erdtree will give him some affection. Eventually, that's gotta be how it works. The Lake of Rot, more like the Lake of Morgott ran through the lake that is here. We're still working on the name. Lake of Rot is pretty accurate, actually. Astel, time I got greedy and got sucked up into space for a second there. Something about remembrances that don't have any plot significance, hang out on underground lake beds, and teleport away constantly really brings out the greed in me. Probably because I don't want to do it. Yeah. Volcano Manor wants to burn down the Erdtree, but we can infiltrate it and take it down from the inside. First, the Godskin Noble. Heavy fire resistance, but also very low slash and bleed resistance. 2 out of 3 rounds up to an easy success. Also, dude looks delicious, am I right? Am I the only one who thinks he kind of looks like a big old marshmallow? Maybe it's Volcano Manor just making me feel all cannibalistic. Rykard, Serpent Hunter.
Bye-bye. See you later.
I'm concerned about Valiant Gargoyles. Slash damage is one of their better defenses. They can't bleed, and there's 2 of them. Also, their damage has been scaled up, even though their damage is already too high for this area in New Game 1. But we just take our time, do it slowly, and manage to make it through without dying. We're only dying to hard bosses, like the moose and the big turtle. I'm honestly shocked that the ants didn't kill us somehow. Pop into Fia's champs and look at our big dumb brother Godwin. Imagine being dead. Skill issue. It's a skill issue for Fia's champs too. Honestly, who cares that Godwin was the favorite son? It's not like that's gonna fuel an inferiority complex that drives us to create an oppressive police state. Morgott doesn't have mommy issues. He's fine. I believe it was Thomas Wolfe who said you can never go home again, but that's not true. We're in the royal capital. RIP to you, Thomas, but I am simply built different. It's really fast this time. We don't have to pick up anything in NG+, that was already done. But the Tree Guardian joins us for the Godfrey Shade fight. Hey Godfrey, only scrubs use spirit ashes. When are you gonna do a run without spirit ashes, fake gamer? Other than the ones you've already done without a spirit ash, I guess I just didn't see those. We don't have to turn on a 3-minute timer for Morgott, but we could, and it would be fine. The Erdtree probably doesn't want to see Morgott beating himself, so let's kill the Black Knife Assassin first. It wanted to attack. Okay, fine. Now let's start beating ourselves and make a real mess of it. Halfway through the fight, Morgott explodes, spraying all over the floor. At the end of the fight, he tries to grab himself, but we're not doing that. I've heard it makes you grow omen horns.
Just jacking it.
For Biden lands, the Knights Cavalry won't bother us because Morgott is the Cop King. It's a nice time to remind everyone that nobody ever defunded their police like anywhere. Several places voted to democratically, but even in those places, the police just said, no, give us more money. And then they did. Heavy police presence doesn't prevent crime. The vast majority of crimes are never solved, and the best way to prevent crimes is to invest in a social safety net to eliminate poverty. I guess the game wouldn't be as fun if Morgott used the Knights Cavalry as a free ambulance service, though. The Grace by the Fire Giant gets spawn camped by a hand and a crow, not cool, and then we get to fight the largest lad. He's got fire resistance, so we'll just cut him up till his eye drops down, then do the full Ash of War. Huge damage just from the bleed. Big meteors land underneath him? Did he wanted bullet curve the meteors from the sky? Okay, I wanted to make him my own personal umbrella, but whatever. Do it again. Don't get the wonky luck. Big win. Malenia burns down the Erdtree. Morgott might not like that, but it's the only way he can get inside and ask his parents to love him again. Banished Knight bullies us by the Grace. Low armor, that's a real humdinger. Death 4. But slash and bleed against the Godskin Duo should make this fight easy as hell. We're carving them the heck up. With the final chunky gets summoned, they're standing close enough that the Cursed Blood Slice gets to hit both of them. That health bar melts. Swag jump, bird run, skip the tree sentinel. Quitting out is faster and more fun. Dude doesn't even drop a good amount of runes. He's just like there. Maliketh bleeds right before phase 2, but no stance break until phase 2. That's where I want it anyway. Then one more blood explosion, easy fight, easy life. Gideon Ofnir, okay, watch this. We have the perfect amount of mind, no more, no less, to chop him up extra fast, extra smooth. Dad fight time, Godfrey hits hard, but we get hit hard. Wait, that's bad.
Please.
Round 2, that was just a warm-up, and our sword is nice and warm. At this point, every hit just does so much damage to us. We get a stance break right before phase 2. It's not ideal, but we keep the pressure up to get one right after the earthquakes in phase 2 for a quick win. Time to talk to Mom. Skipped the cutscene where she says that the Golden Order that hates all omens and banishes them to the sewer or fully murders them doesn't like us because we're an omen. Wow, I can't believe that. We kept voting for the leopards eating people's faces party, but I didn't think they'd ever eat my face. Oh well, guess we have to face off with Mom's new man, Radahn. Too bad he forgot to get fire resistance because Morgott is bringing more fire. Doesn't even matter that he can't bleed, we just blow him right the hell up. Elden Beast is gonna be slow, especially if the game just decides we don't get a crit when we press the crit button. Second stance break happens as it's going for Elden Stars, which means it doesn't happen. I love that because I hate Elden Stars. Hell yeah. And then we just play tag with a space whale. End it with some style and a cursed blood slice. With that done, we can eat the Elden Beast's soul and...
Oof, now I've got a taste for it.
guess we better get the rest of the remembrances now. Let's start off this ending boss rush by respecking for more perfect stats. I guess it doesn't really matter, but we're heading to the castle's hole to annihilate Anile. Guess we should be glad his name isn't Masterb. No spirit ashes means we're outnumbered. Okay, well, let's fix that. If the shield guy would cooperate, fuck it, we'll just charge him. I forgot we took Lord of Blood's exaltation off for the Elden Beast, so our damage isn't as cracked as it should be. It's only a little cracked. Bummer. I've heard rumors that if you talk to this old man, he'll just hand you the Erdtree medallion, but we're so far into the run, I can't afford to risk it. Hey, remember when I swapped the stats? Let's actually go remember to pay that off with a trip to the Divine Tower of Caelid. Radahn's Great Rune will be our best Great Rune at this point. Morgott's Great Rune gives a lot more health, but we don't need a lot more health. We need more armor. Honestly, more health isn't even all that helpful. It just makes us chug more to get the benefits of the Ritual Shield Talisman. NPCs don't like being hit with blood explosions, and the Penguin Noble is no exception. I could kill the Sanguine Noble in the spooky cave to get us some rune arcs, but I don't think we're gonna have to do that. We're just gonna kind of cook everyone in the game and not die again. Mohg is so weak to bleed. We have 81 bleed on our R1s. We don't need an Ash of War, but we can still do it. Mohg has 80% fire resistance, so that's pretty much just being ignored, but he also takes a lot of damage from bleed, and that gets bleed faster. Take that, big bro. I guess I don't know the birth order, but Morgott gives big middle child energy, and Godwin gives baby energy because he's the favorite. He's the only non-omen. I would bet Marika just wanted to keep going until until they got a good one, doing the baby version of a gotcha game. Placidusac's next, big bleed resistance might as well be no bleed resistance, but also 6% damage resistance might as well be 0 damage resistance, and that's what our rags give us. So when he decides to have weirdo funky man hitboxes, we get hit twice and die. Second time we do a better job avoiding the lightning, but that breath attack really just says, I hope you were already standing in the right place. TP phase is super fun if you don't like having fun, and have fun not having it, which would mean that you're not having fun because you are having fun, so it would be fun then. Anyway, we skip the Omega Laser by just killing him fast, and then have to go all the way across the arena to grab our runes. Oof.
Run.
Carrion Study Hall. No, Morgott is a demigod, so demigod study hall. Huh. Pretty boring hall. 1 out of 10 would not recommend studying. Go hug Fia, Morgott needs a hug, and deprogramming from the Erdtree cult, but we'll start with a hug. I've heard of sex, but 40 sex? That's what I'm talking about. Just kidding, it's terrible. It takes forever and ends up being more painful than fun. We start by going for the toes just to feel something. I don't know why he has windbox attacks that don't do damage. It just stalls the fight. Like I'm weirdly angrier about his attack that stalls us out and doesn't do damage. Eventually we just get in there and explode on the toes. Just had to be a bit more careful because old Morgott's pretty frail. It takes so many runes to actually level up now. Thank God I'm not trying to do a run where we have to do maxed out stats. That would take so long. Even if I started it in January, it still wouldn't be done.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
Nothing to report in the liturgical town. It's just one of those areas you do the first time you play the game and go, oh, that was neat. And then every following playthrough, it's a chore. It's really remarkable how much of this game still is fun on the 100th time. The liturgical town and Erdtree just aren't part of that. Loretta is. I like the fight, even if she doesn't have enough health. But dodging her feels really cool. Making her explode feels really cool. The arena's great. There's no baloney anywhere. It's just a fun, cool fight. Why haven't I put Loretta on a poll yet? Patreon poll, not like a sexy way. But hey, thank God this is an NG Plus run and we can just boogie through the waterfall. And also, don't have to deal with the spiders for the shield talisman. We can just head right into Malenia. No fire resistance, bad bleed resistance, this should be free. Ducky Dance is still very scary, and we goofed again. Still don't have Lord of Blood's Exaltation on, so we gotta hot swap that mid-fight, not recommended. Quick clones in phase 2, then we just duke it out under the second onion, and get hit with a Radahn dance. Bummer. Attempt 2, we rip in there and almost rip to a Ducky Dance. This is a curved greatsword, and I haven't really talked about its stance pressure, but yeah, it's got good stance pressure. Now we've talked about its stance pressure. If you're struggling with Malenia, grab this weapon. It fully shreds up her onions. I'll stall it out so you can see more of the fight, but yeah, pressing the L2 button just blows her the hell up. In only 4 hours and 17 minutes, we were able to beat 29 bosses, and we died 7 times. It's high up there in S rank, right behind the raddest Dan soldier. That had a greatsword and a great Ash of War. This has a curved greatsword with what I would say is a greater Ash of War, but Rad Dan pulls ahead because it died so few times, literally just once. Morgott's biggest struggle is the lack of armor, which isn't really that big of a struggle because we only died 7 times. But if you slapped on like even the Knight set, or God forbid the Omen set, something really heavy, Morgott's Cursed Sword would be a contender for the best weapon in the game. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch these runs live, follow us on Twitch. We'll be doing a big marathon stream later this month for my birthday. It would be very cool to see you there. Join the Patreon if you want to give me money. It's the best place to do it. And if you don't have money to share with us, that's cool. Liking the videos and subscribing helps us out a ton too.